gate left open swinging back and forth because, as we could see, the desolate plants have decided this winter was their last. But it didn't have to be. But things really did get weedy, being in the weeds. The cat looks ahead at a future that's more bright than the past that has been so dark. The cat tries her best with being on Instagram, but the only followers she has gained are robots, promising her 10,000 followers for only $50. But much like the curse of the lack of food, she's cursed by not having a bank account, because she is a cat. And this is another example of ridiculous motion of whether or not we should be really giving cats voting rights. The cat looks out into the distance of where a once blossoming garden is now nothing more than a tree without leaves. Even the wind, when it blows through here, barely hits anything and goes right through you. Because in a place where you rely on curses, it's a place. The curiosity, the cat is like, what? The cat is wondering, can I eat the camera? The cat doesn't know. The cat is confused, but the cat needs to know. It's all about you. But is it? What difference do we have? The cat ponders and thinks about whether or not there's something more out there. But the cat refuses to read a book, refuses to dare to dream. The sadness in the cat's eyes is something straight out of a book that I would have been forced to read in school, but instead wrote jokes about. Ooh, the cat sees something, but what is it? Nothing. An empty wheelbarrow, discarded by probably one of the Wesman kids, who has gave up moving loads around. But the cat is now seen someone else in the kitchen. Maybe she could find some food, but she immediately realizes how futile that exactly is, and decides to look back out the window. Oh, she's making a move, hearing something from the kitchen. This is incredible now. The cat is making moves. But what has made this cat want to move over there is the biggest question that has ever been asked. And the question needs to be told and needs to be known. The cat struggles to know whether or not this is a comfortable spot to sleep for the evening, knowing that full well that there will be no food served to her. As she emotionally terrorizes the blanket out of her frustration of unable to eat food because she's unable to make food, because she's unable to be part of the growing trend that is community gardening. But the only problem with this kitty is this cat eats for one. And when this cat eats for one, it's nothing but emotional torture that is on the blanket that we call gardening. As the cat wishes that she was massaging a steak to coat it with a nice slab of nutrition-laced Gouda cheese. The cat is dufounded and befounded, making up words, deciding whether or not she is a cat, or whether or not she is no longer a cat. She's now eating the blanket out of pure frustration. Left paw, right paw. Each of the paws arguing with each other of what part of the blanket is more comfortable. As the cat is eating the blanket, this could be the curse being lifted. Is she lifting the curse now? We'll never know. What will happen now? Can only be a decision where somebody who has just started filming a kitty and saying these things out loud unpre-planned. But a cat that is this willing to embarrass herself in front of the camera for hits and eating a blanket and now herself, she's looking at embarrassment, but she's aware that the embarrassment that she finds is only when she looks in the mirror when she cleans herself. The embarrassment that reflects off the once blossoming garden, which is now just a futile attempt for this cat to make friends with the new cats that eaten far way better than her, including 2 stints at the rehab for At this moment, the cat would normally use a hairdryer to dry herself off after eating a blanket. But now, she can no longer afford the hairdryer. The hairdryer is nothing more than a form of mockery of the once blossoming garden that would be this cat's downfall. But what downfall will that be? Well, we'll have to figure it out, you morons. I can't create an entire story off the top of my head, but I am doing that right now. The cat is very peculiar. And as I continue to narrate, I realize that maybe I should have narrated in a narrator voice, or perhaps narrated the narrating with a more of a David Attenborough vibe. But the difference between this and David Attenborough is David Attenborough doesn't go to desolate places like this, where the cat simply is cleaning herself after enjoying a meal of water and a cold blanket and some little bit of sunshine. She can hope that one of the crumbs that have gathered in her tails from the tailspin that is her life will one day fall into her mouth, and she will have a little bit of protein to maybe remember what curse has been laid upon the family of the garden. But this isn't the Garden of Eden, or the garden where that someone eats the thing of the fruit. I never read the Bible because I could barely read. I have read Shakespeare, and that was awful. But this cat seemingly so used to now being told what is up and what is down. This cat no longer knows what area of her body is now clean because she's too busy cleaning herself every time she looks at her bank account at the dwindling savings that is now creating havoc of her once blossoming life. As she licks herself in time, she is what she is. But it depends on whether or not an owl will accept what she plans on saying and doing. This is a beautiful time in the cat's where she is actually getting very close to saying exactly what is needed and said. And so there is a vibe. No, it's done. She thought there was an owl, but it turns out it's nothing. She's hesitant. Who's that? Is it food? Is it the curse? We don't know. As she looks at the potential intruder, she makes no moves, realizing that nothing here can be stolen, because everything that can be stolen already has been stolen from this cat.